Okay, it is 3:01. I would like to call to order the April 18th meeting of the Norwalk Fire Commission. We have a quorum with Commissioner Destruge, Mayor Rilling. First item on the agenda is the acceptance of the minutes, regular meeting on Tuesday, March 21st, 2023. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any corrections, deletions, or omissions?
No corrections.
Chief?
Yes, on page 4, the very last paragraph in bold. Commissioner Destruge moved to affirm the vote taken at the March 2nd meeting.
Oh, yeah, I had that one too. Regarding the approval of the,
I'll call you back.
Okay. Any other
Okay.
corrections, deletions, or omissions?
Hold on, Mayor, I didn't finish. March 2nd meeting regarding the approval should be of the disability
of the
pension
disability, correct.
request from Fire Inspector Roos and firefighter crossed out.
Station 2 firefighters, we are gonna police the yard quickly.
Okay.
So those are all the corrections.
Okay, any other corrections, deletions, or omissions? Seeing none, all in favor of the minutes as amended?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. There are no action items. Fire Chief's report, Chief Gatto.
Okay, so we are 9 months into this year. And just again, want to note that in March, the salary and the overtime expenses reflect 5-week period. So the salary was a little bit higher because it's 5 weeks. Overall, we are at 69.2%. As opposed to being at 75%. So we're still doing pretty good, I think.
Mhm.
But we're going to, in the next few days, we're going to go over line by line because some of the accounts we're running low on money. We're gonna have to transfer some money around to cover some of these line items. But we should be all right at that point. So, you know, we're gonna watch the salary versus the overtime accounts moving forward. But for now, we're okay for now. I think we'll be okay, but for now, we're definitely okay.
Okay. Coming upon the end of the year, Commissioner Destruge, any questions?
Yeah.
No questions, but thank you for doing a great job on the budget. We really appreciate all your work.
Okay, welcome.
Okay. Okay, next item, Assistant Chief of Administration, Chief Conti.
Good afternoon, Mayor Rilling, Commissioner Destruge.
Good afternoon.
So I have some progress reports on our ongoing projects. Our mobile data terminals for all the apparatus, everything is going smoothly. We're installing modems and all the apparatus one by one. We've got all the reserve done, and now we're moving to all the frontline apparatus and the software. I just had a meeting today. Everything is. All the different CAD softwares are talking to each other. So everything is working right. And hopefully we can get it up and running in the next few months, after the testing. It's going very well. The station alerting upgrade is going well. They're at station 2 right now. They've finished 3 stations already for most of the equipment. Now they're installing all the speakers. We're probably looking just to make sure that I had talked to them and they just, make sure that everything's up and running. We're probably going to be in the summertime at some point to go live, but they're doing. We're on good pace to finish that project. The station 3 for all the buildings, station 3's floor. I'm still in the planning process. That money is going to get opened up to us July 1st by the 3rd taxing district. So we're trying to get everything in order to get that project kind of started. It's going to have to go out for bid and everything, but get it started as soon as possible after it's funded, because that floor is in definite need of repair and replacement, I should say. The Station 5 roof, they just came in right now. We're at almost 80% completion of that project. And that's going to be done. It should be the next couple of weeks. The couple skylights are going to take a little bit longer to come in, but that's just, how the, demand comes. But everything's looking good. For the OSHA compliance, we're over 85% complete. We're really just waiting on the gear to come in that we need, and that's all been ordered. And so that's really going to be the finalized. And then we have a hazardous comp program, but that's a citywide initiative that Craig Schmidt's that we've been a part of. So we're in good shape to meet that June 12th deadline, I believe is our final deadline.
Okay.
Any questions?
Not for me, Commissioner DeStrouge.
No questions. Thank you for the update.
Thank you.
A lot happening. Okay, that brings us to Chief McCabe, Assistant Fire Chief of Operations.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mayor Rilling, Commissioner DeStrouge.
Afternoon.
Under operations, the first item, the department's 5 deputy chiefs have all been assigned a subdivision within firefighting operations. Each deputy will communicate with the company officers in their division on matters of training, equipment, and apparatus. This system of organization will help facilitate span of control for communication and give the company officers a resource within their respective divisions at the chief officer level. So this is a new program that we've just started off and already seems to be helping as far as communication goes up to the chief level. Second item, the fire department administrators and chiefs, as admin chiefs and hazmat team liaison met with the King Industries management and safety team to discuss the changeover to green foam in all of their fixed suppression systems and also their purchase of an industrial fire apparatus. So this new truck that King Industries bought can deploy foam or dry chemical and can be operated as a quick response vehicle by them with a minimum number of King personnel. So it's good to see them paying attention to the fire hazards at their plant and buying equipment that specifically helps to protect the plant and the city against that.
Oh, just a quick question.
Yes.
Will that truck be available to us if we need it?
Yes, it will. So the chief of the King Industries Fire Department made that clear that if the city of Norwalk needed that truck to respond to an incident in town, they will have the personnel and the capability to roll it to our incident if called for.
And that's the foam without the PFAs.
Correct. It's what they call green foam, no PFAs,
Yep.
and it also has a 300-gallon dry chemical agent tank on it. So any kind of hazardous materials fire, they could roll that to the incident for us.
Now we have trucks that use foam, correct?
We do, and all of our foam has also been changed over to green foam. So
That was my next question. Great.
yes, our fire engines that carry buckets of foam, that changeover was done some time ago. So
Great.
we have no PFAs in any of our foam in the department.
Great job.
Great.
And finally, third item, Norwalk Fire is investing in equipment and instruction in order to train our ladder companies and our rescue company to perform rescues involving roof deployed rope safety system. And this procedure allows civilians to be rescued from a window when their escape is out of the reach of fire department ladders. It will also allow trapped firefighters to be rescued when the height of the window is beyond the reach of their personal escape system. So this will be training that'll be upcoming in the next couple of months.
Good.
Under calls for the month of March 2023, we're at 664 incidents for the month. That should read a 21.4 per day average. We had 15 fires, including 2 building fires and 5 brush fires. We had 41 rescues, 37 of those involving motor vehicles. We went on 422 EMS calls, 27 hazardous condition calls, the majority of those being natural gas or LPG leaks. Went on 23 service calls, responded to 84 fire alarms, the majority being unintentional false. And there were 52 calls categorized as smoke scare / good intent. So cumulative statistics for January 1st through March 31st, the department is at 2,069 incidents and 3,237 total responses for 2023. And I can take any questions.
None for me, just looks like you're up a little bit in all the areas
Mhm.
Yes.
to be expected. So
Great job. Always a good report. I see that you're consistently increasing in incidents and total responses and doing a great job in keeping our city safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
it looks like we've been pretty consistent at 19 per day, and now you're up about 2.5 per day.
Mhm.
So, yep, good. Okay, Fire Marshal Sawyer.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
For March, we had 195 inspections, 56 notifications have been sent out, 3 pub ed events, 28 plan reviews completed, 12 liquor license inspections, 5 fire investigations, and 2 code issues or hazards for a total of 7 of that category, those 2 categories. We had $2,650 for plan review fees, $780 for liquor license fees for a total of $3,430. Pretty much it. Is that any questions?
Not from me, Commissioner Destruge.
No, no questions.
I do have something you may be interested in though. With the health department, single family homes, we have limited jurisdiction here. I can do smoke alarms and egress. So I've reached out to the health department. Their notices specifically cite smoke alarms, illegal apartments, and egress. We require an authentic source, which would be the health department inspectors. So I asked Mr. Mooney if he could isolate those 3 items: smoke alarm, inadequate egress, illegal apartments, and I can reach into a 1 and 2 for those things. So they have a lot of them that we can't get into, but they're basically telling me there's an illegal apartment or inadequate egress. So legally, I can reach that. And I think that's going to be beneficial because it's a quicker way to get into 1 and 2 family dwellings when there's an illegal apartment. But that's in the works.
So now would you have to have a civil warrant to do that?
No. I
Okay.
needed, all I need, Connecticut General Statutes 29-305 gives us this authority in 1 and 2 family dwellings if I have that authentic source. It's not for an inspection, Mr. Mayor. It's basically if you've got one of those 3 issues, I can say, hey, you need to put smoke alarms in. I can say, hey, this egress is inadequate. We start with the phone call, just like we do for any 3 family, and try to reach out to them.
All right, good. Commissioner Destruge?
So the question of the egress, that also involves that there might be things that is blocking the egress, not necessarily in the structure of the egress.
Correct. Something that's in a way, bicycle, I don't know, dresser, whatever the case may be. But there's a fine line because when you say illegal apartment, okay, it may be an illegal apartment because it's not there for zone there or whatever the case may be, but they've been living there 3-4 years, clean, nice. The only issue they have is they don't have egress. So is it really an illegal apartment? Not from our book. We're looking at the egress, and that I definitely have jurisdiction on in single family homes. It's a big reach. It's a big reach, but we're not going to get any trouble.
Okay,
That's good to know.
that's it's always good to know.
No doubt about it, man. I pay taxes here too, Mr. Mayor.
Hey, it's another way of making this town safer, you know, yeah.
Exactly.
People won't like it, but somebody has to do it.
But, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Mhm.
I'll keep you guys
Thank you.
updated. Oh, you're welcome.
Hey, do we have an emergency management report? I don't see Ms. DeLuca with us.
No, she's on vacation. I thought maybe she was gonna try to sign on, but I guess she can't do it, and I don't have any information from her, so we'll have to table that till next month.
Just
Okay.
for edification, your edification, I do not allow people on vacation to sign on and be part of the, if they're on vacation, they're going to enjoy their vacation.
Oh, I,
So-
I would love working for you. That is a great story.
Tell her, don't
Great
even think
policy.
about it. Okay. Next is a training division report, Deputy Chief Maggio. You're on mute.
I always make a point to not do that, and today I did it. So good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, and good afternoon, Commissioner Struge.
Good afternoon.
Training Division report. Current activities, our ongoing wellness coordinator. Item number 2, vertical roof ventilation. That's members performing what we normally do at most structure fires that are well involved. So that would be up on a roof system, utilizing utilizing saws, depending on the roof type, rotary power saws or chainsaws to cut a ventilation hole, alleviating a lot of the heat and smoke that provides hazard of flashover to us as well as occupants of the dwelling or structure. So, just proper roof cutting and general safety on the roof system. Item 3, vehicle extrication. We had several cars donated by LaJoy's and Jamie Fillo of Nats Towing brought to us. So we've gone through those. We'll obtain more as we can. And utilizing our new Jaws of Life and vehicle extrication equipment to really get into cars, as well as new personnel that haven't really experienced this type of part of the fire service. Item number 4, metal cutting. Kind of getting more into our forcible entry and utilizing the same rotary power saws, but with different blades on them, and that's to cut through metal and good technique operating saws. And some of that metal that we obtained was donated from the Maritime Center, or the demolition company from the Maritime Center. So that's taking down the IMAX theater. So we obtained some of that. And for the next probably 2 or 3 weeks, we'll be continuing with metal cutting and roof ventilation. Item 5, water supply and master stream operations. This is really us utilizing hydrant water, kind of the operation that we would do at any fire, obtaining a water supply and then feeding either a forward engine or a ladder truck. The master stream is really those larger diameter nozzles that we use on top of ladders or on top of the engines that we would use to make a quick knockdown. Not so much hand lines, that's a smaller diameter hose streams, but this is communications between personnel and different companies, coordinating water supply pressures and pumping for newly assigned drivers. This is as the temperatures warm up, it enabled us to get back outside. We were somewhat limited last year with the drought conditions. So pumping operations, master stream, pumping into one another. Item 6 is EVOC, that's Emergency Vehicle Operators Course. Again, new personnel trying to qualify different drivers on both our ladder trucks and engine companies. So we utilize Vets Park and have a pre-measured course that we set up down there, and we'll be doing that for the next week or 2. Completed activities at OUPV is the operator of uninspected passenger vessels. We have one that completed the course in the Fairfield location that we ran, and one that's in a virtual session right now. And then under C, for upcoming or scheduled, this is the PES. This has been on the agenda for a month or 2. We haven't run this session yet, but it's the personal escape system. That's, as Chief McCabe mentioned before, as we get into rope rescue, that's item number 5. For items for areas that are beyond what our personal escape system will allow us to escape, we'll get into that rope rescue, as he mentioned before. But the personal escape system is that system that every firefighter carries, and that's really a last ditch effort to kind of exit the building through a window and descend down on their own personal rope and descent device. Number 3,
how long is the rope?
Geez, I should know that off the top of my head, and I don't
It's
anymore.
50 feet. In the newer kits, it's 50 feet.
50 feet. So,
Yes.
okay. For about 5 stories. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry.
No problem. That's a good question. I'm glad you asked because I didn't know anymore. Item number 3, standpipe operations. We'll get into that, and that'll be a follow-up to our sprinkler system that we did a month or 2 ago. And number 4, we'll probably get to first, and that's heavy vehicle stabilization. So that we've assembled the training tower with some of the buses, guardrails, and some of the larger trucks that we obtained from DPW that were no longer in use. And that's really to simulate and work with large vehicles for vehicle extrication, lifting and stabilization. We did obtain another tree that we had at one time. And same thing, that's a little bit of more of a difficult scenario to work with the bigger equipment, heavier loads, and then the tree itself is an unstable, easy to move and hard to stabilize. So next, I'll have more pictures for you next month of all these items. But these are all fun, exciting, get out and like utilizing tools that are kind of fun, I think, on the fire ground to use.
So I imagine under item C, there's no number 2.
Oh, I see. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah.
That's all right.
We'll correct
So
that.
3 becomes 2, 4 becomes 3, 5 becomes 4. We're good.
That's correct.
The only question, the question or a comment, I guess, I always get nervous when I see firefighters on top of a roof, breaking through the roof to allow the I guess the vent or whatever. I always get nervous. I'm just so concerned that roof is going to collapse. I imagine that's happened to firefighters in the past. It's a very, I guess it's a necessary thing, but a very dangerous thing. I just don't like to see that, but I guess there's no other answer.
Yeah, well, that is part of the training. We actually discuss the training starts with really building construction. So we discuss the higher risk roof type systems and non-combustible roofs, quick to collapse. There's a lot of steel and they absorb heat and distort themselves very quickly. Truss systems, of course, fail very quickly. So that's part of the training. There's a lot of discussion, about 20 minutes, 15 minutes of discussion before we get up on the roof. There is always risk on a roof system or, whether it's a fall or a roof collapse, but these are, there is risk in firefighting, but it's calculated and we don't take unnecessary risks. If we feel that we can, that there's more gain and minimizing risk, we always try and work in a safe and calculated, environment.
So
I'm
are
sure, and
the
it's-
firefighters harnessed when they're on a roof, breaking down a roof?
Not typically. If it was a training scenario, the one that we're using isn't very tall, so not harnessed in this one. If we get into that roof rope rescue, they'll be harnessed there. It's a bit higher up, so on the fire ground, there's no fall protection. It's a lot of hazards on the fire ground, and of course we assume some level of risk in the fire service. And a lot of training. So, the reason why we do this is to limit, even just as simple as which cuts to make first so that we're not reaching over a compromised roof. As we cut the roof, of course, we compromise it a little bit. So we don't want to put ourselves in a position to have to retreat, past a hole. So we kind of cut furthest away and get closer to the ladder. One of the guys spoke to me this morning and he thought the training was really good. And as simple as it is, it's just doing it. Instead of talking about it in theory, getting hands-on, there's more muscle memory, and then they have, some memory or experience to fall back on, when they're doing it in real life.
So they work off a roof ladder. If it's a pitched roof, they stay on the ladder,
Okay.
like reach
Correct.
over. Look
Yeah.
at- run
I was
around
wondering
the
about
roof.
that too. Yeah. Yep.
Right. Yeah. So we do have hooks that hook a ridge, and we do spread our weight out and usually working right from the ladder.
Additionally, the trusses, roof truss, floor trusses, I added to the charter, roof truss identification sign, so that when the guys go to the annunciator panel, they'll know that there's a truss system there. I mean, you're not gonna, it's usually truss in residential, but for commercial, you never know. So that will also assist. And while I'm on it, I have a question for AC McCabe in regard to that hazmat truck. There was a fire in a garage, an electric vehicle. The guys came, see the fire, hit it with the water. There was an explosion. It blew off the garage door, just missed the captain. Right now, I looked at some plan reviews. They're looking at doing an underground parking structure. I can't remember where it was, with the electric vehicle charger in the garage. So I know you need copious amounts of water to put out these electric vehicle fires, but I'm wondering, you mentioned they have a dry chem truck. You think if we had something like that, they might be able to bring that out for us?
Like I said, the chief down there said anytime that we call for their truck, they would be willing to roll it to our incident to assist. And with the EV fires, you know, there's certainly a challenge right now that I think the fire service is trying to catch up with. And we are looking at a couple specialty tools. There is a fireproof blanket that some departments are utilizing and buying to spread over the electrical vehicle fire to contain it and control it. Also, we've looked at an EV nozzle, which would be almost like a sprinkler nozzle that goes underneath the vehicle to hit the battery pack on the bottom of the car. So I think those would be kind of a first line of defense when we decide which products that we want to buy for that. But if we got into a situation where we needed that truck, certainly King would roll it to the scene for us. And we've always enjoyed a good working relationship with King Industries, and we continue to. So that would be an option.
Okay. Yeah, I talked to Stanford, and they had the garage fire. I don't know, it was 6 or 7
Yes.
cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why, I figure I'd ask. Thank you, AC.
Thank you.
Just a question, Fire Marshal Sawyer, did they
Yes.
determine that any of those vehicles were electric vehicles and maybe the cause of the fire?
No determination yet, but they
Okay.
do know that it wasn't arson.
Oh, boy.
So that's a good thing, not an arson. That's,
Yeah,
yeah. I'll let you know as soon as I find out, I'll let you guys know next.
thanks.
Oh, you're welcome.
So yesterday
another-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just another note, the dry chem fire extinguishers do not put out lithium battery fires.
And therein lies a serious problem.
Yeah.
Maybe there ought to be some sort of a code, I don't know, where you can't have these vehicles parking 2 or 3 stories down. That could create a serious problem. So I don't know I don't even know if that's possible, just the thought.
I would say that too often it takes a large loss of life to affect this type of change, and you might see a change in building code in the future. Unfortunately, those car fires burn for a long time, the EV fires, and I don't think charging stations underneath a combustible, dwelling or structures is a good idea at all. But
I'm not a fan, but I can't stop it because it's code compliant.
So maybe we need to reach out to Planning and Zoning Commission and Planning and Zoning Department and just kind of alert them to concerns that exist based on this situation. So maybe they can
Yes.
come up with something. I just think it's dangerous because if you've got 2 floors down and you've got an electrical vehicle fire starting, and you really can't get out to do what you need to do, that could be a catastrophic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So-
And they burn
like,
a long time.
ordinance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And yesterday I had the privilege of sitting through a police commission meeting and the privilege of sitting through a fire commission meeting today. I'm really proud of all the training that both agencies are doing. I think between the police department and the fire department, we probably have the best trained first responders of any place I can think of. And, it's just an indication of our dedication to making sure our first responders are prepared to do the job that they need to do. So thank you again.
Here.
Thank you.
Next item, there's no local 830 report, no old business, no new business, and we have a correspondence letter from firefighter Jim Hebert. Chief?
Mayor, before we go on to that, can I go back to new business? I just got a phone call today from Reed Auerbach. The RTC wants to be able to honor retired Fire Commissioner Carol Andreoli by planting a tree and possibly a plaque. And they're wondering if they could do it here at headquarters. Can
I
say,
think that's up to you. I
Or
don't think
bring it up
that,
to-
yeah, that's up to you. I don't see any objection to that. You know, I don't even think it needs to be approved by the fire commission.
Okay, I just was gonna run it by you. Okay, I'll let them know that. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
It's a good, she's the first female fire commissioner, and she served for at least 11 years, so.
Yeah, she served for a long time and she was a good person.
Yeah.
I know her husband as well. And yeah, a
Yes.
good couple, did a lot for the city, and I think it's appropriate.
And I did express your condolences to Peter when I went to the wake and the funeral, because you were on vacation.
Thank you. Right. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that.
Yep. Okay, so the retirement letter from firefighter Hebert is he's shortening his drop period. He's requesting that he's going to be leaving, I believe the end of May, after 28 years. There's really no action that needs to be done other than just letting you know that he's going to be leaving early.
Yeah, there's no action necessary except to accept with regrets his decision to retire. Anytime we lose a firefighter with such experience, or anytime we have a firefighter retire and move on, it's always bittersweet. They're going to move on to a new chapter in their life, but also we lose their service, we lose their experience and their knowledge. So we accept with regrets. Commissioner Destruge, if you will make a motion to accept with regrets this letter.
So moved to accept with regrets the letter. Yes,
Okay, all in favor?
aye.
Aye, motion is carried.
So
Okay.
this accelerates the number of openings that we're going to have in the,
Yes, yes, we could have possibly, well, there's another firefighter who's talking about leaving like around the same time or a little bit later in June.
Mhm.
So we could be up to 16 vacancies, but don't forget, we're putting 8 on,
eight
June.
right?
so I think we'll be okay. That's another discussion as to whether or not we want to look for some more additional personnel, but maybe next month.
Yep.
I want to mention quickly, one of our firefighters, Lieutenant Jim Lyons, contacted the Tunnel to Tunnel Foundation. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Yeah.
It's an outfit that takes care of veterans who or their families who lost their lives, or first responders. The purpose of the reach out was to see if they could help with firefighter Craig Saris, who passed away from cancer, if they'd be willing to do anything toward their mortgage. And I'm happy to announce that the foundation has accepted it, and they're beginning, I believe, next month. And every month thereafter, they live in that house, their mortgage will be paid for by the foundation.
Very nice.
Very
Congrats.
nice.
That's the Tunnels to Tower organization.
Yes, right.
Yeah, a wonderful organization that, you know, the loss of 9/11 of over 300 firefighters is devastating. And so I'm glad to see that they're taking care of their own.
Yeah, they do a really, they do a great job. And we're very happy with the outcome. So it's a good decision.
Yes, us too. And we should probably, if they want it, they may not, but we should probably give them some sort of public recognition. But oftentimes these organizations don't want any recognition whatsoever.
Yeah, I will, I'll look into that and see if Jim could reach out to them if they want to do some type of press release or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's a
Okay.
wonderful report. Thank you.
Yep. So there is no further business coming before the Fire Commission. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
It is 3:35. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We are adjourned at 3:35 p.m. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you,
And
gentlemen.
lady.
Thank you very much,
I see.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay.
You too.
Thank you.